Hi guys, I'm Shmi and we're at the 2015 IAA. We're going to be taking a full look at the new Bugatti concept, the Vision Gran Turismo, but we'll start off now with the car's global premiere here at tonight's conference. So let's watch it rolling out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President of Bugatti Automobiles, Wolfgang Thurheimer.
Here we are then, the global premiere of the Bugatti Vision Gran Turismo, and what a stunning machine this thing is. Just look at it. Absolutely mind-blowing. This is going to be a completely in-depth look at the car, the exterior and the interior, and even being joined by some of Bugatti's senior staff to show me around and talk about the different design features and highlights. The main purpose of the car, though, of course, named Gran Turismo because it will feature in upcoming Gran Turismo games. It's a way for Bugatti to bring their vehicles to the fans and let you guys out there drive this vehicle in the game. Looking at the rear, you've got a huge rear wing, some insane design, and let's head around to the front as well. The design of the front of this car is absolutely insane, and just look at the small details even there with the lights lighting up in sequence. But as well as being an opportunity for fans of the brand to play with this car in-game, it also prompts some hints towards the future design language of Bugatti and what we're going to be seeing in the upcoming future super sports car that's in the works. For now, let me find somebody to tell us a little bit more about the project. I'm joined here by Achim Anscheidt, the head of design for Bugatti. Thank you very much for talking with me. First question for you, how did this come to be? How did this turn out how we are looking at this car now?
I think in the beginning it was the challenge how to participate in the game Gran Turismo and in the class Vision Gran Turismo. We turned the whole thing around and thought if we are participating in Vision Gran Turismo, we wanted to do it with a car that is based on our motorsport knowledge and engineering excellence and everything that we know about the motorsport part in the Volkswagen Group, that we could apply to one of our cars and go racing in a very realistic way.
Okay. So a lot of sort of history and heritage has gone into what we're looking at. Sort of the colours and design. What are some of the sort of highlights of different things that have come through to this car?
Well, the overall color stands for our company and the French racing blue, obviously from the history. But the dual color scheme also relates back to the Le Mans victories that Vimy and Benoit and Véron also had in 37 and 39 in Le Mans at the time, and we are referencing it back to that success.
Okay, and the whole aggressive design of this car. There's a huge wing, there's this strong sort of central line we're looking at down the car.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the features, I guess, some of the things that you've thought about.
Well, some of the aggressiveness certainly comes from the motorsport details and what we did also to the proportion of the car. Made the car wider, made the car lower. And all the motorsport accessories and the wing come from a performance function. On the other hand, also the car carries a lot of DNA elements that will have a significance to future Bugattis, like the 8-eye face that you see from the front, the strong center spine going over the car, the Bugatti line that you see in side view, and also the strong single beam taillight in the rear view.
Okay. Thank you to Achim then for the quick overview with the car. And I'm now going to be joined by Sasha, who is in charge of the creative design, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the design sort of features and things that have gone into creating this.
Yeah, so it was obviously very important for us to create the next step of Bugatti design, but also to be as honest and as legitimate as far as racing technology is concerned as possible. For example, we interpreted the Bugatti horseshoe in a whole new way. If you look right here, you can see that the horseshoe is actually a floating element that holds the front wing in place, almost like the wing supports in a Formula One car. You can also see these incredible dive planes that are coming straight from the world of LMP1 and DTM. Our headlights are also now modular and actually serve as an air intake that does the brake cooling.
Okay, that's very clever.
Exactly. I mean, the car is full of these sorts of Easter eggs. You know, the closer you look, the more you find. Our center line crease on the car is now interpreted in a whole new way, where you can see the air outlets that vent the front radiators over to the top, continued into the windshield wiper, and over into the fin on the roof of the car, with a DRS actuator at the back. So the stylistic element that used to be the roof fin on the Type 57 Atlantique has been interpreted in a whole new way into a functional aerodynamic element on this car. If we continue over to the side, one of my favorite things on the car is these super muscular, very pronounced fender forms that just make the car look like the cabin is sunken in between the wheels, that the wheels are really bulging out.
Yeah, you get that vibe when you're looking at it.
You know, we're all fans of 60s Le Mans cars, of the 330 P4, and in a way it has become, I don't know, somehow an automotive trademark, you know, to do this. And we try to bring some of that automotive beauty into this car as well, paying homage to the great Le Mans cars of the time.
Small touch, I like the door mirrors.
The door mirrors are awesome.
Just multi-layered carbon fiber.
Double function. One thing is obviously the camera. The other thing is these airfoils here that guide the airflow down to the radiator on the bottom. This area there on the bottom is not streamed well enough normally because of the front wheel arch bulging as wide as it does. So we have to divert the airflow from the top down into the air intake down over there. And this is what the wing mirror here does, double function.
And there's so much sort of aero going on down here and behind the wheel arch as well.
Exactly, so vented front wheel arch to get rid of some of the drag created in the wheel arch area. Some small touches, safety touches. Obviously the removable roof hatch to take the helmet off of the driver in case of an injury. Emergency switches to fire extinguisher and electric cutoff. These pins here that help you remove the complete door if necessary as well.
You've completely gone down the racing sort of avenues with this.
We are nerds. We are really a team of nerds. You know, Achim, Etienne, Frank, myself, we're all motorsport enthusiasts, and for us it was essential to make this car legitimate as a racing car, not to make it just a designer's pipe dream, but a well-researched, thoroughly done racing car today.
Yeah, it feels that way. I love the whole sort of look of this area on the rear deck. Just sheer aggression with the wing, and
I think this is one more point I would like to make here is the rear fender.
Yep.
And the rear fender on the Veyron was one of the icons of the car. The fact that it was so pronounced and so beautiful, and the reflections on it were just incredibly beautiful. And we wanted to go one step from that. We wanted to go one up on that. We wanted to create a rear fender that is all about muscle, that is all about power, that is all about sculpture. At the same time, obviously, like everything else on the car, incredibly functional. Venting the rear wheel arch. Having a radiator in the back of the car here providing additional cooling. Venting the complete engine bay area and the exhaust area through these openings in the back as well.
Yeah, it's very open, which I assume is a lot of work going into the aerodynamics and airflow. And
there's usually plenty of heat that gets trapped in this area, so this was a clever way of getting all that heat out, improving the efficiency, and with efficiency comes power, obviously. So.
And this looks like an air brake up here?
This is indeed an air brake and a DRS. DRS is controversial enough in Formula One world, but for us, top speed is everything, and we wanted to allow the car to change between a cornering configuration and top speed configuration. So this wing has double purpose. On the one hand, air brake. On the other hand, it drops down and it allows for a faster top speed.
Okay, and I can see you've done a lot of work to sort of the shapes here, all the different slits we've got in different angles.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of...
It both looks brilliant, but I'm sure it serves the purpose of aerodynamics as well.
I'm a big fan of Formula One rear wings, front wings and rear wings. They're incredibly intricate, and there was just so much to look at there to understand how these things actually work. And actually believe McLaren had a similar concept in 2013. But like I said, we're all nerds. We love what we do.
I like the single center stripe rear light at the back as well.
That's another thing that we are really passionate about, is making our rear end as iconic as possible and having just one line for the taillight. You don't get more simple, but also more iconic and more purposeful in a way than that.
Another thing I noticed, these must be pretty much the largest slicks ever. Michelin slicks on this car.
Yeah, you're probably right. They were custom made by Michelin for this project, and 22-inch in the back, 21 in the front. I'm pretty sure they don't make those standard for any racing category. Yeah, well, one thing I really like is the blue stripe around the tire. I think it makes the wheel look a lot bigger, and it's a bit of an homage to the kind of, in a way, hot rod scene. But yeah, it's just a clever trick.
There's one other thing I've noticed, which is on the metal caps we've got, the number of screws. I noticed this earlier. 16 screws with a W16, which you can see in its, well, sort of see in its glory there as well.
This is one of the Easter eggs that I just mentioned earlier. There's a bunch of them on the car. You'll see them everywhere. We like the numbers. We play with numbers a lot. You know, we have an 8 I-face on the car, 4 on each side. We have 4 turbochargers. We have 16 cylinders. We have 4 banks of 4 cylinders. There's all these numbers that do the magic of Bugatti, and then
I can see.
Every chance we get, we like to use those.
Really random question. Why are there red door handles?
So, one of the ideas here is to do a little bit of a French flag game. So we have the French flag right over there on the rear wing.
Okay, I hadn't actually spotted that at all. That's an awesome little touch.
Exactly. You know, Ferrari does their thing with Italian flags. Why can't we do that with French?
Yeah, that's nice.
So obviously we do have the blue on the exterior. We have a bit of metal work on the car that appears white in some of the photos, and we thought of using red as well. Actually, the center locks are red on one side and blue on the other, which is obviously made to be able to tell the direction of the screw threads. The red door handles, something you would right away notice on the blue exterior, but is again a color that is used from the French flag.
Yeah, and around that we have the sort of blue pinstriping as well, running around.
Exactly, which is our Bugatti signature line. We like to refer to it as that. It's a graphic DNA that comes from the past that we interpreted for this car. On this car, it's not just a graphic; it is actually a functional air intake opening that provides all the necessary cooling for the radiators.
And it's I think standing here alongside it is when you realise how much elongated, I suppose, the car is. Lower, wider.
Yeah, it's incredibly low, it's incredibly wide, and it's just every kid's dream, every child's dream of what a supercar should be.
I think it's more than just a kid's dream. I think it's a grown-up's dream as well.
Yeah, well, we're all kids in that way.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for showing me around. That was absolutely brilliant.
Thank you very much, Tim.
I'm joined by Etienne Salome, the head of interior design for Bugatti, who's going to show us through the interior.
The first part that we have for this interior is that this is an interior made for racing, and for racing today, not in 20 years. So everything is made is quite down to earth. To be able to make an interior for Bugatti, we assembled all the elements for the center console, so that we have this center line here that is in the middle of the car. Everything is quite narrow. It takes the center line also from the exterior and makes these coming from like our DNA.
Yes.
We have also the steering wheel, that is a pop-up steering wheel that has a curved screen with the instrument, and also on top of the steering column another curved screen that is the 3 cameras from the exterior merged into one image. Everything is done in a very intuitive way for this car, so that when you have this camera you don't really look at it, but intuitively you see what actually is coming behind.
Right, is that a first, having a curved screen in the car?
Yes, it's actually a first thing to have those elements. Another first thing is the materiality of the car. You can see that this is the same material that is used on the Formula 1 boots.
Okay.
And that is also a first thing to use on the car interior. So everything that the driver will touch, the steering wheel, the seat, and the handle to open the car, everything is screened with the same uniquely developed color for Bugatti.
Okay.
And last but not least, this car is a Vision Gran Turismo, Bugatti Vision Gran Turismo. And we made every button lit up, but also we made a little plate here that you can see on the door sill. This is the signature from Mr. Yamauchi.
Yes.
And everything that we do, like with Bugatti, is very tailor-made and done for the customers. And this is a little bit of as if this is the car made for him.
Okay, and we've got the satin carbon fibre as well there.
Exactly, matte carbon fiber on the whole interior.
So it looks like a pretty special interior to me. Thank you for showing us around.
Thank you so much.
The Vision Gran Turismo is now heading over to the IAA, the main motor show, where it will be on the Bugatti stand tomorrow. Fortunately for me, I'm going to be heading with it, so we're going to get an even better look, up close and personal, with this car. Arrived at the show, and we're going to get to hear it starting up. And that is the sound of the Bugatti race car, Vision Gran Turismo. That is such a rumble. Very loud, very powerful, very menacing. Here she comes. This is not something that happens every day. We're on the Frankfurt show floor and I'm sat inside the Bugatti Vision Gran Turismo, and this is somewhere that basically no one is allowed to go. So being sat here right now is really pretty special, and I'm able to take a proper look around the interior. Some cool stuff I hadn't noticed before. We've got the outline of Le Mans there. Of course, this car is a top speed focused car, so it's all set up for Le Mans. As such, you have the 3 pedals down there, if you can just about see those. The screen in front of us, the curved nature, that obviously means that every part of it is pointing right back at you and also curved on the center. DRS button, boost, everything's colored like very, very race car feel. And the ignition and starter as well, with the fighter jet style switches. Incredibly raked window in front of us, sun visor, of course, over the front. And in the passenger footwell, you've pretty much got nothing other than electronics and the fire extinguisher. There's some cameras in here as well, actually. There's a camera over there, and there's one back there too, so filming everything. And as we talked about earlier, there's the emergency release above. Oh, sorry, lost the focus there. It's a bit warm in here. But this is absolutely breathtaking. Being in here, this is phenomenal. Unfortunately though, I think I'm going to have to undo this 6-point harness and jump out. Sad times. The final moments then before the car is cleaned up and covered up before its unveil at the presentation again here at the IAA tomorrow. But wow, how cool was that? I got to sit in the Vision Gran Turismo, and there's only one of these, of course. This is a very, very, very special car. The lights are going off on it now. Dark blue carbon with the light blue. It's so, so cool. This is perhaps the ultimate in cool. Oh, we've got some lights back. Just look at this thing. Breathtaking piece of design. True emphasis of what Bugatti can do. And it's gone down to a fantastic reception. I think the lights are being tested on it now, but this is going to be one of the highlights of this show over the coming weeks to all of the people who are visiting, I am sure. And I can't believe I was lucky enough to jump inside there and get a photo, sat inside it. What an awesome day. I hope you've enjoyed that introduction and full in-depth tour there with some of the staff of Bugatti, showing us around it, talking about the car, and letting you know everything that went into the Vision Gran Turismo. That's it for now though. I'm going to wrap up there. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed for all of the other videos, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.